Hi, I'm Cy Quackenbush. This is ALEC 607 for Dr. Boyd. This is my first video module teaching about commitment. Uh, this is fall 2019. Go back to the year 2005 if you can. I'm going to take you there because a lot of you students, you know, won't know what I'm talking about, and some of you may be too young or may not even been born in 2005. So let's go. We're going to go back to 2005, and I'm at the University of Texas A&M in Kingsville, and I have not done the best at commitment. I committed to go to school, and I failed out and failed miserably because I didn't have the necessary commitment level to be successful and to be successful at school. So I worked in the oil field and for about 5 years until the year 2005. I enroll in university, and I've told myself that I'm 100% committed, and I'm going to do whatever it is necessary to get my 4 year education as fast as I can, which I did in 2.5 years. And every semester I took 18 plus hours, and I took winter and summer classes to get done. That was commitment. It took failure, and it took me seeing what the real working world was, or what I did not want, to become committed into something that I did want. I started coaching youth football while I was also in university, and was very committed to youth football. I remember picking up students, much like yourselves, and taking them to practice and taking them back home because transportation was a problem. And I was committed to the youth football program down there, down in South Texas, and I was going to do whatever it took to be successful. We continue to grow. Now we're in about 2008. My commitment to university and my commitment to youth football are both came to an end. Very successful. I start to grow relationships, and I start to see that I have a knack, and I have this passion about being a teacher and helping build youth, much like yourself. So I decide in the summer after I graduated in May of '08, that I'm going to go and put a year's worth of work in 2.5 months to get my teaching certificate, so that I can teach at a local high school and coach these same young men that I was coaching at youth football. I could coach them in their freshman year in high school. So I did that. I had a commitment. I made a commitment to them. I made a commitment to myself, and I got my teaching certificate in about 2.5 months, and got a job at the same high school that I wanted to, and taught there and coached there for 2 years. Then I taught 1 year at Bryan ISD. That's how I migrated to Bryan College Station again. In that semester, where I got my teaching certificate, I read a book by Ruby Payne that talked about social economic demographics, and I had this commitment to serve my students and to be the best teacher possible. And after I read that book, and in the class that I was taking, the professor suggested and that we get out, me and the other teachers that were working on our certificates, to get out maybe the first 2-3 days of school or before school, and just kind of drive around and see the things that these kids dealt with. Look at their local parks, look at their houses, look at what they have to offer locally. It could better serve us in the classroom to engage and to show even our commitment level. And so I did that very same thing. I drove around and kind of looked at all the different places that these kids came from, and it really was eye-opening. And because of that commitment level, because I had that commitment to my students to be a servant to them and to serve them, it made me successful. It helped me in the classroom gain respect, and it continued. After I finished teaching high school for 3 years, I built lots of relationships. But that commitment, the commitment that I had to be a part of something better than or more than myself, it's very humbling, and it's very important to be able to teach and to be able to shape people like yourself into a young adult, into to into an adult. And it's very important that you have somebody that's committed to doing so. Um, the commitment level that I had for my students wasn't just for their education, but it was to them. I had a commitment to them. I had a commitment to their program, whatever it was that they were working very hard at. Some of them were going to go on to college and play sports, or play in the band or something. There's a ton of different extracurricular activities, and to show them that I was committed to them, and show them that I cared, and that I would go to their games, and or go to their band performances, or go to their plays, all those things. That commitment kind of gave me respect and accountability. It showed them that I could be held accountable, that I could be held accountable to be committed towards them. And it really helped me, not only shape them, but it also helped me grow. I built some lasting relationships with students that I still talk to. On some students I talk to on a weekly basis, some on a monthly basis, some quarterly, some just once a year. Sometimes when I run into them at HEB here and locally, or when I go back down to South Texas to go hunting or fishing, and I run into them, we shake hands, we catch up. Because of that commitment, we've built a friendship. I've built a friendship with other teachers that I still talk to and work with in today, even though that I'm not in the education system anymore. Because of my commitment, because those teachers saw how committed I was, it built a lasting relationship. It built a positive relationship that showed them that, hey, Cy cares, and he was a good enough teacher to care, and he cared about those students, and that's who I want to be around. I want to be around people like him. And those are the same things I think. When I see someone who's committed into something, I want to be around that person. I want to be friends with that person, or a colleague, or just stand side by side with that person. And same thing with parents. There's still lots of parents that I still talk to on a normal basis. And I have lots of those parents that check up on my kids. Hey, how are your kids doing? And I may not have seen them for 10 years, but there's because of the commitment that I had, it just built such lasting, long relationships that it shaped and developed not only who I was, but who they were and where they're going. Not only did I shape youth, but I shaped parents and other teachers just like they shaped me. So commitment, to sum it all up, commitment is very, very important. And it's probably one of the maybe top 3, top 5 leadership skills, attributes that we need to know. To be committed to something is so much more than just one word or one definition. It goes beyond that. To be committed means you're passionate, means you're driven, it means you're respectful. You're respectful to what you're doing. You can be held accountable for what you're doing. So the word commitment is like a spider web, and it touches so many different things. And when you are committed to something, people want to stick to you, or you stick to them. And just keep in mind, commitment is important to the growth of youth, and it's important to the development of not only youth, but as you grow older. Thank you.